Alright, so here's my new 2016 Giant Defy Advanced SL. This bike came with an 1128 cassette, short cage rear derailleur, and a 50-34 compact crank, all Ultegra group set, disc brakes, integrated seat post into the frame, super light, super stiff bike. This is a dream to ride. So I'm going to just show you like the modifications I've made to this bike, and maybe it'll help you out to if you want to do a modification yourself. Some of the tricks I've learned along the way. This isn't the first bike I've modified, so here we go. First thing on the back, swapped out the 1128 cassette for an 1136. This is a climber's dream. Long cage rear derailleur, Ultegra. One of the things I did also was I took out the 50 tooth chainring and replaced it with an Osymetric oval chainring. I love these chainrings. They're a little bit finicky to set up, but once you learn some tricks that I'm going to show you, it should really help you out. I didn't put the Osymetric small chainring in. I left in the 34 Ultegra chainring. I like this hybrid setup. I've had it before on a Da Vinci Leo SL 2011 model, and I really like this. I like the round chainring for climbing, but I really like the oval chainring for higher speeds. When you're setting up an oval chainring, one thing you got to think about is setting up. I don't know if you can see that, if it's in focus. You need to set up the chainring, your front derailleur, so that you see how I'm so far from the front derailleur there with the teeth, but when I come around to the larger portion, I'm coming in real close to the top there. 1 to 3 millimeters. I like to keep it around 2, just to be a little bit safe. And yeah, that's the setup for these old chain rings to make sure you got clearance. I really highly suggest you put in the chain catcher that's supplied with your chain rings, and this riser block here that pushes your front derailleur back, that allows for more clearance on the chain. One other thing you can do if you're experienced chain rubbing, I didn't have to do it, but if you notice in the back here, there's a rivet that rivets the front portion of the front derailleur and the rear portion. You can drill that out and put in, separate the two, and then use washers as spacers and a small metric bolt and nut to spread. I don't know if you can see that, to spread the rear portion and the front portion of the front derailleur so that you can eliminate chain rubbing. Like I said, I didn't have to do it on this bike, but some people, pry these with pinchers and vice grips, channel locks and stuff like that, and it ends up like marring your derailleur. It looks pretty ugly. So that's another way you can go about handling those kind of problems. One thing that might happen when installing a huge cassette like this, you notice how I get, there's no chattering of the top jockey wheel here with the bottom of the largest ring, the 36 ring on the cassette. A trick that you can use, and I just did this this evening. If you notice my B screw, I don't know if I can get you to see that. Yeah, here it is. If you notice my B screw, the head is facing downward and the top is facing upward. I got one of these Allen socket 25, they're 4 millimeter metric. If you want to know what size of bolt you need for B screws. They're usually 4mm metric. I got one with an Allen head that's bigger than a round head screw. Plus, they're a lot easier to screw in with the Allen socket. What you do instead of going in from the top with your head is you go in from underneath the bottom, and you use the head of the screw, which is bigger, to come and, you know, push up against the indexer in the back. What that's going to do, if I can get around here, what that's going to do is it's going to want to push your rear derailleur back farther, giving you the clearance you need not to have chattering on your rear cassette. So, you know, that will eliminate chattering on these huge cassettes. So, I mean, this bike set up like this is so versatile. I've got 34 in the front, 36 in the back, huge range, 50 in the front, 11 in the back for speed, which is way enough. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, endurance bikes, you don't need more than that. What else do I got on this bike? I got it set up with a Stages power meter, Garmin. Right now I'm using XTR pedals, but I've just ordered some Look pedals. I'm going to try using road shoes and pedals. A while back, Durian Rider had really sang the praises of XTR pedals like this. And they are good when you want to walk around and stuff with the SPD cleats. But lately, I mean, I've been noticing slop, like what he was talking about in one of his videos in the bearings. So I'm going to try some Look road pedals. So yeah, so just to recap, to eliminate chattering on the rear cassette, especially when using larger cassettes, you can turn your B screw upside down and get a B screw with a larger head, like an Allen head. What else? Yeah, and the Osymetric chain rings on the front. Osymetric chain rings, I mean, just, you know, you got to go slow. You got to play a lot with the high and low limit adjustments on your front derailleur, and also cable tension. You know, the cable tension, you got to get it if you want to have like flawless shifting with these. You got to get your cable tension just right. It's not always the tightest that's the best. And I'd like to show you guys how this shifts, but I have nothing to hold my camera. So if you have any questions, just leave them down below. Subscribe if you want to see more cycling tips, repair tips, and videos. Yeah, you know, just let me know down below, and I'd be happy to help you with any of your questions. So thanks a lot, and talk to you soon.